Yes, these jeans are too tight, and yes, I'm wearing them ironically. The year is negative 175 billion, and two things exist: dark space particles made of gravity and secrets, and the announcement of Cyberpunk futuristic bunch of numbers. Then for a while we had large furless dogs, including air dogs, earth dogs, and wet dogs. Sandy triangles with maximum employment. Jesus, kill me and see if I care lol, Christ. Easy Mac, which tastes like giving up, and sugar made love to a bowl of plastic. The Halo ring, that's real by the way, read a textbook, you're embarrassing yourself. And then Cyberpunk futuristic bunch of numbers is born. People loved it. Then 2 years pass, and Cyberboy Sexy Runners the cartoon is good. Unreasonably good, and I'm bored to tears by the game I cover for money. So this video is the first third of my Cyberpuff experience. Spoilers for Act 1 of the main campaign only. There's 3 acts, I only talk Act 1, but I wouldn't worry if I were you. Which I am. Hi, I'm literally you. We'll start our journey with me, if I was actually handsome. On Make Me Feel Something You Little Bitch, the difficulty, and I do love the outdoors, nature brings healing, the backstory. I meet up with this hentai shoulders guy, who needs help moving a mystery box across the border. This all sounds quite legal and kid-friendly. We pull up, bribe this guard, only to get double-crossed and chased by evil mega corporation number 1, Amazon. That's why they have this little tree as part of their logo. Refute me in the comments. I welcome stupidity. They want their box back and have infinite resources to get it. But we are the main character of this video game. So, I think you know. They lose sight of us for literally 1 street, and we pull safely into a random garage. That's camouflage and stuff. Inside the box was a surprisingly well-behaved, but definitely big enough to eat a small child, lizard. The only animal I'd see for the next 50 hours. Unlike my own dad, Hentai Shoulders Guy likes us. So we team up and montage through the next 6 months of raw bromance degeneracy in a dazzling 90 seconds. Starting with this wicked advertisement. We'll come back to the ads of Cyberpunk at the end of this video, because they were astonishing. This guy gets bumper card, deal with it, that's Hentai's mom. We rob this guy and punch him. That's excellent push-up form. This amount of eyeshadow is definitely a choice. We are the Starsky and Hutch of the future. Does anyone even know who that is? I'm nearly 30 and references are so hard. The titty shake, always a classic. There's only one bed in this room. Where do I sleep? We rob people with guns and buy more guns to rob more people. I kill this bitch, why not? I think I just banged Hentai's mum. I have my own apartment now. And this duffel bag. I'm kind of hardcore like that. Montage over, no more baby game. It's time for our first real mission. Operation Wellness Check featuring well-known actress Sandra Bullock. She's basically a random chick that isn't picking up the phone. This Zoom meeting HUD abomination appears whenever someone's FaceTiming us, which is usually only every 60 to 90 seconds, so it's not annoying at all. This frowning specimen is T-Mobile, a resident giga hack girl who's sassy and just hacked your Instagram password. Don't care about this guy, lol. For Sandra's own good, I jack in with my tiny retractable cyberpeen. I guess we don't have Bluetooth in the future. So we gently wake her up, and thank God I enabled the nudity sensor earlier in the settings. This is mission 1. I do not have the VFX budget to pixelate all these titties. Guys can be shirtless though, with no repercussions, because equality question mark. We hand her off to childhood trauma, the bloodthirsty Navy SEAL paramedics of the future. On the way home, we come across MaxTac, and if you thought the paramedics were aggressive, MaxiPad will put you through puberty, give you a tampon, and say the body cam footage got corrupted. Case dismissed. 4 rotating semi-transparent TV screens, rapidly changing channel. Feels a little impractical, but I can't even find a pair of matching socks in my own drawer. So what do I know? Welcome to Act 1. Hentai's girlfriend, Misty from Cerulean City, obviously plays Overwatch, so it's good to know Activision Blizzard is thriving in this dystopian economy. This guy is our first Ripperdoc Victor. He watches Jake Paul box all day long. Ripperdocs are like if being a tattoo artist also qualified you as a surgeon. They install cyberware, the metallic body gadgets that look like jewelry that's been melted into your body. New arrival, this is Dexter from That Killing Show, or That Cartoon Laboratory, depending on your age, or as I personally like to call him, El Dorado Arm. He's a fixer, which actually means self-employed doing probably illegal things, like Uber, but instead of cars, it's thieving and killing. Oh yes, the gig economy is flourishing in Gotham. He's got an elaborate heist for us straight out of 2001 summer blockbuster Ocean's 11, and this will be the entirety of Act 1. The job is to steal an experimental biochip called the Sexy USB from the biggest megacorp ever to corp, Amazon. Tricky, Amazon likes their own stuff and hates not having it that stuff. There are 2 problems on this robbery coin. The first is that recently an emo Spank Me gang robbed a Microsoft convoy, which you may know by its ulterior name, a truck. They took something very valuable and dangerous from that truck, a doggy robot. You know, like that one episode of Black Mirror. We need that doggy to get the sexy USB. And if you think I've changed a single name so far to make this video more fun, you are correct. And click away now because I'm just getting started. Now, retired Mr. T purchased the bot from Brick, who was the daddy of the Spank Me gang. Then they killed him. The new spandex daddy is Royce. So we gotta go talk to Rolls-Royce, no relation. Problem number 1.5 on the robbery coin is that Microsoft sent someone to investigate the convoy theft. Senior operations manager, Melinda Gates. She's been asking around town all about that convoy, which is a very investigative journal thing to do. With me so far. Now, who actually wants the sexy USB? Well, that's problem number 2 from our aforementioned coin. Did I think the coin metaphor through? No. Am I going back to fix the script? Also no. So the sexy USB client, aka our boss's boss, is none other than American singer-songwriter Billie Eilish. She's nervous that going up against the 2 biggest superpowers since Captain Marvel and regular guy in a jacket is a bad idea. Place your predictions now in the comment box of your local website. So Billie Eilish wants to meet someone on the heist team, and Roadhog wants it to be us, not hentai, because, quote, Jackie's only good at some things, unquote. A very polite way of saying someone is mostly incompetent and only occasionally outcompetent. We'll meet up with the nervous client later. For now, onward to the daddy gang, but be warned, handbrakes are slippery. Police introduction. Cutting someone in half with a car is a very reasonable 1-star offense. Let's talk to Melinda and see how Microsoft feels about having an entire semi-truck of top secret stuff yoinked. Is what I would have said, but I never spoke to her and it didn't matter at all. Problem number 1.5 is solved. Why take action when no act do trick? Back to problem number 1, we still need that bot. So we find ourselves in Dominatrix Boys, the warehouse, and it's time to chat with Royce, who's very aggressive for someone made of mostly LED lights. I bet at the Christmas party he wears a tree costume and is the talk of the town, God bless America. Except to get to Royce, you have to ride in this elevator with Jackie. And it's already at the top. And Jackie's also at the top. No problem, I'll just reload my game. Should be a simple fix. Jackie's downstairs again, and it's in a fit of rage, I kill everyone in the warehouse. And wouldn't you know, that actually fixed it. Violence make good troubleshoot sometime. We find the flathead, that's the robot, not a type of screwdriver. Mission status accomplished, bloodshed kept to a minimum. Back to problem number 2, aka the Billie Eilish meet and greet. She wants us to go to Lizzie's bar. You remember Lizzie McGuire from Disney? Yeah, she's in the hospitality industry now. Unless you're a Disney attorney, in which case for legal reasons, no hablo inglés. We wait at the bar where they make many different types of alcohol and drinks with alcohol in them, so they can make a lot of tipsy people real fast. You would agree this is more fur than a naked chick in the 70s. Step into my private booth if you're at least 18 and let's try to stay focused. Hopefully the YouTube monetization bots don't know about holograms yet. Do transparent titties count? Is the question advertising isn't ready to ask. Okay, let's blow through this info dump like a trust fund kid in the toilet stall of a nightclub who's just in there to freshen up. So we need to get the sexy USB from Amazon. It's currently inside generic Dubai hotel, The Hotel. Top floor, penthouse suite. The room is occupied by Jeffrey Bezos Jr. He's the heir to the Amazon Corporation empire. Son of Jeffrey Bezos Sr. Jr. has the USB because he stole it from an Amazon lab. Very naughty. And is trying to sell it to the cyber cops, aka Skynet. But internet police sound good, right? Wrong. They work for whoever pays them. And that's mostly megacorps, so that's mega bad. And the sexy USB is in a plain briefcase, henceforth called Briefy McCase. Now that was a lot of info. How does that actually help us? It doesn't. We need to see with our own eyes what's going on in that penthouse. Luckily, Billie Eyes Wide Shut has an Oculus Rift Unreal Engine 5 VR experience to show us of that very room. It's called a brain dance. You see, in the future, when everyone has robotic eye implants, everything gets recorded. And that's too many things, IMO. And when everything gets recorded, any moment you ever experience can be someone else's tech demo. Do you ever get stuck scrolling social media videos? Now imagine those videos with 3D hyper-realistic experiences you could step right into. The future, where life as we know it is over, and we lost to our own brains. So let's head to the illegal VR dungeon, but first, has hustle culture gone too far with this one? It's hard not to respect the sheer ambition of these words, I'll say that. Back to the mission. So apparently Evelyn is part of a 2-person team. And you're not gonna believe this, but her partner, it turns out, is also Billie Eilish. Now, it's just hard to find well-known celebrities with partially green hair. Her name is Judy, and you might recognize her from the reality courtroom hit TV series Judge Judy. Same person. The years were kind. Now, clearly there was a lot of developer resource spent here. Sometimes you're in a kiddie pool, and other times you're in the deep end of an Olympic swimming pool. And I will not elaborate further. Judge Judy flashes us into the artificial ayahuasca trip, and looking down, we're in Evelyn's body on an elevator headed to the penthouse. This crafty minx has been there already. Introducing anime villain number 1, aka the particle accelerator, aka the hadron collider, aka the atom smasher, aka Atom Smasher. That was too many AKAs, wasn't it?
You look like a cut of meat, are you?
How many incels have said that to the pork chops they just brought home? Proportionally, I am gonna have to take some points off for the tiny carbs. I rate them a Chris Hemsworth out of 10.
You could say I'm special. Who the f*** are you?
To me, Adam Sandler's voice is the perfect combination of digital gravel and alpha masculinity. It kind of makes me want to pour oil all over my body and bench press until my chest collapses. That may have been too specific, but I know someone out there feels me. Now, can we get back to the mission, you filthy little hot dog? This is Jeffrey Jr., and there are subtle undertones here that he dislikes Bezos Sr. That could be an overreach from me, but he does call him a tired, visionless, brain-addled despot who's utterly removed from reality, with a vicious tone in his voice while saying it. So I'll let you draw your own conclusions there. We learn Jeffy J's got a hidden safe cold enough to store Briefy McCase. So that's kind of a fun fact for us. While Evelyn's adjusting the mood lighting, we see a very helpful email from open bracket unknown, all caps, close bracket. Warning, scam alert. Do not click on any emails with ads for a penis enlargement nanogel. This is a scam. A lesson we could all learn if we just open our hearts to the truth. Penis small, and that's okay. We also see that Evelyn and Jeffy Jr. are very special friends who cuddle sometimes. We know all the things, and now it's time to harass rich people. Now we're in a taxi on our way to the place. But not just any taxi, a Delamain. A Delamain is like if the hitman guy owned a premium taxi service and spoke like ChatGPT. Expensive, a little odd, and displacing countless real workers. I believe the blue lipstick is an unrelated personal fashion choice. Jackie is palpably excited about this job.
This is how you want to cruise into the major leagues. Let me explain something to you, V. My whole life I've spent in this shit around us, and I ain't going back.
As far as he's concerned, this is a one-way ticket up the next rung of the crime ladder. Here's a diagram I made to ease the heavy intellectual burden of that metaphor. And this is the moment I realized that Jackman and I have become BFFs. He's a really affable, likable, honest guy. Yes, he's a mass murdering criminal that tried to backstab me the very first time we met, but that's just code for patriotic citizen in capitalist New York bunch of numbers. To be honest, I really liked Jackie since the time he sweet-talked this hard-ass border cop into letting us through early in the game.
Officer, ma'am, damn, are we ever lucky we ran into you.
What's it that makes me so special?
Only somebody with a heart of gold can understand just how much I need to get back to my girl.
Girl?
I'm gonna be worried sick if I don't show.
That's a shame. Let them through.
That's just raw charisma. But not in a James Bond, you're probably pregnant now kind of way. More like The Rock, flashing you a smile on Instagram and telling you he truly cares. Thank you, Dwayne. You're such a real person. Man, this little moment of vulnerability in the taxi really sealed the deal. He and I are now ride or die. Like Han Solo and the Walking Bush. Like Gollum and the small metallic circle. Like Woody and his friend from Interstellar. Without realizing it, I'd truly come to care for Jackie, not as a video game sidekick, but as a friend. I know it's silly because he's just a bunch of pixels, but he's so well written, animated, and voice acted that my brain was tricked into making the chemicals of a real friendship. I started out simply tolerating Jackie's presence early on, but ended up relishing our time together. The only other video game sidekick that's ever achieved this for me was Elizabeth in BioShock Infinite. Back to the heist, and I'm quite partial to a good let me grab that thing from the trunk animation. I find them oddly immersive, and this one hits the spot. Remember that one scene from Into the Spider-Verse where Miles jumps but the camera is upside down? They made that into a hotel. In the bar, you'll find that guy from the Amazon Prime delivery simulator. Were they harvesting babies or just hanging out with them in that game? I could never tell. No judgment either way. We've all done stuff. Jackie asked me a simple question.
How do I look?
Not bad at all.
I lie to protect his feelings. It's definitely our Joker right before he kills all the people kind of look. Putting a tiny slice of forest somewhere it's not supposed to be is one of my favorite rich people decor situations. Mother Nature, also this spot, no matter the cost or logistical impracticality. This is our robot doggy, and as you can see, he's a very good boy. Jackie and I share USBs, which you should never do unless you're trying to have a very good time. We send our doggy through the vents of the hotel, and what do you know? He can go invisible. It's Harry Potter and the green screen cloth maneuver. We stealth our way to the main security room and disable their hacker man. If you thought this was a sex act, the FBI would like a few words. And also, it is. We enter the Playboy Mansion for real this time. There's a vault fridge in the corner, so we jack in and hack its icy brains out. As we do, T-Mobile says someone is landing on the helipad right above us and is making their way down to the penthouse RN. Jackie grabs Briefy McCase and we look desperately for somewhere to hide. We squeeze behind the TV wall in the middle of the apartment. It's much more of a one-way mirror than a regular wall, which is pretty convenient. Just like the private investigator I hired to keep an eye on my wife. We can see them, but they can't see us. In comes Jeffrey Jr. and his WrestleMania bodyguard, who just assaulted your girlfriend downstairs, probably. They seem to be waiting for someone. Uh-oh. know if it isn't the Emperor of Amazon himself, Bezos Sr. Senior's bodyguard starts scanning for intruders while proving that neck tattoos don't hurt your employment chances in the future. This truly is the sacred timeline. Mid-scan, Emperor Cusco says, "Shut up and leave, we're definitely safe, I totally trust my degenerate son." Excellent intuition, my lord. Then he says, "I know you stole the sexy USB," and his son is like, "Whatever, dad, I never even loved you." And then you're not gonna believe this, he chokes his dad to death like Darth Vader, without the Force or a helmet. I look over at Jackie and that face is either screaming, "This is kind of bad for us," or "My tummy hurt and poopy in my pants." The hotel goes into lockdown like it's peak pandy circa 2020, and I loot the old man for a dog tag worth $1. The economy strikes again. Then this happens.
Oh, no, not now! I've been made!
Pinche Dios santo bendito.
R.I.P. A Bug's Life. I never liked you, but that could have changed at some point, hypothetically. Trying to escape, we inch across this ledge toward a ladder, and an Amazon drone swoops in for the kill. Joke's on them though, because jumping from high places onto glass roofs while dodging countless bullets is my middle name. And yes, filling out forms is an absolute nightmare. Jackie's bleeding, and it is not the right time of the month for that. Briefing case is damaged, and the sexy USB is fading fast. It's a biochip, and needs to be stored correctly or it bio-dies. The only thing we can do is slot it inside one of us for safekeeping. But like most of my life thus far, this whole mission was a waste. Jackie rolls that dice with his giant balls of steel, slots the shard, and says he feels fine. Just to be clear, this is like shooting a bunch of heroin right before going through customs, so they won't find the drugs. Questionable, but hard not to respect that kind of risk tolerance. We stumble onward together, killing roughly 1 million guys as we make our way through the hotel. Once we arrive in the underground car park, we jump in our Delamain taxi from earlier. While fleeing, we get T-boned from the side by Rhinoceros Adam Sandler, but we just turn around and drive in a different direction. Wait, that works actually. On the way, ChatGPT hits us with this cold water.
My medical diagnostics indicate that Mr. Wells's condition is critical.
I scream, "Take us to a doctor, you incompetent bitch." And he says,
Apologies, but that will not be possible. Our itinerary has been pre-arranged and paid for in advance. I am not at liberty to alter it.
if that isn't the bleakest take on capitalism I've ever heard. You didn't buy the right package, so now he dies. Look, things aren't perfect, but today at least a hospital will treat us without healthcare. Going bankrupt and eventually homeless is a small price to pay for that service. Jackie hands me the biochip to hold on to.
Hold on to it. For me.
And he passes on to the next life. The music is going so hard at this point, and my heart is heavy. I actually got kind of emotional just watching back the footage. This was one of those rare, pure video game moments where it didn't seem like I was being manipulated or tricked into feeling something I thought was unearned or undeserved. They just presented this honest moment exactly as it was and said, "How do you feel?" And it felt like I just lost a good friend. If that isn't art at its finest, then I'm a little fat girl eating chocolate cake. I black out in the car, and when I come to, Delamain says this.
The Excelsior package provides for the disposal of passenger remains free of charge. I merely require a destination.
I tell Jackie I'll see him in the major leagues and send his body home to his family.
See you in the major leagues, Jack. Nice car.
What? The video is too serious. Jesus. Reeling from that unusually mature video game gut punch, I head into the motel to regroup with Booker T. He's pretty pissed because every news channel on the air is talking about the death of old man Jeffrey. That is partially my bad, and I partially apologize in theory. He says that I've got blood all over my face and that I should go wash up in the restroom. Okay, I like good hygiene as much as the next guy. I've got no reason to suspect anything will go wrong. Okay, I know that he's pissed, but like, come on, what's he gonna do? Shoot? Critical system failure, Cyberpunk logo animation. That's the end of Act 1, but let's go back to the advertisements in this game for a second, because they are wild. What is an ad though? Thank you for asking. To me, advertising is the art of the interrupt. I know using the word art here feels weird and disrespectful to artistic expression as a concept, because most ads are diarrhea juice. The vast majority are safe, corporate, soulless, bland interruptions that make my pee-pee soft. But every now and then you watch an ad like this.
Hello, ladies. Look at your man. Now back to me. Now back at your man. Now back to me. Sadly, he isn't me. But if he stopped using lady-scented body wash and switched to Old Spice, he could smell like he's me. Look down. Back up. Where are you? You're on a boat with the man your man could smell like. What's in your hand? Back at me. I have it. It's an oyster with 2 tickets to that thing you love. Look again. The tickets are now diamond. Anything is possible when your man smells like Old Spice and not a lady. I'm on a horse.
And you feel like you just watched a magic trick. You're actually kind of grateful for the interruption because you know you just saw a work of art in a place you're not supposed to see it. It's like going on Reddit and finding someone reasonable and intelligent. The sinister truth of advertising is a subtle and deeply buried premise that says you aren't enough. Buy this to fix it. Every product is secretly saying there's a hole in your life that this thing can fill. It's kind of effed up if you think about it. You aren't enough, buy this. You aren't enough, buy this. But like I said, that's all kind of under the surface. You have to do a bit of thinking to get to the dark side of ads. And usually, my brain, no thinky think. But then Cyberpunk says, what if ethics didn't exist and we just appeal to the worst parts of humanity in a hyper-capitalist dystopian kind of way? For example, don't you hate your own body, you disgusting piece of human filth? Buy our body implants at a vendor near you. On one hand, this is tragic, and I'm depressed just thinking about it. But on the other hand, it's oddly refreshing, isn't it? Here's a random get shredded for summer fitness plan I found online. Isn't this kind of the same thing, but with a bit more wink, wink, nudge, nudge? At least this one has the balls to say, we know you hate your own body, and we have a product for that, you little fatty. Hot Boy Summer is more like, well, hypothetically, if you weren't happy with your own body right now, it could maybe help, but no pressure, you're fine as you are. And that is some non-confrontational tiny dick energy IMO. It's possible I'm just so dead inside that I need ultra sensationalist imagery to even break through and be acknowledged by my psyche. Or maybe I just have good taste. I'm just gonna show you some of my favorite ads from the game now and speak on behalf of the brand because it's really fun and I can't stop. Aren't you tired of losing, you stupid, unattractive loser? Let's focus on winning and being sexy, like this woman who's coming out of an eye because this is how people are gonna see you in our clothing. Are you thinking of literally killing yourself? But what about your career? If you're dead, how will you climb the corporate ladder? Why not put our pills in your mouth instead of a gun? Are you a revolting whale of a human because you have no self-discipline and can't resist the temptation of a single cookie? Just drink this and hot chicks will love you. It's like Prime sports drink with less Logan Paul. Life is short, do cocaine. Considering the amount of pre-workout and energy drinks I consume now, I would lose to these products 100%. If I could buy legal speed and it was marketed as a productivity booster, it's over for me. They would call me Sniffy J, but not in a cool way. It would be in the sad neighborhood drug addict kind of way. Are you a homeless person currently overdosing on your opioid of choice? As long as you're wearing our clothes while doing it, you're actually winning. Also, this brand is very different to Gucci and there's no relation. And yes, that is Geralt from the Witchy Boy game. We've tripled our pollution output because the more fuel we burn, the more money we make moving stuff for you. Because you need stuff moved. Obviously, pollution sucks, but every company kinda does this today, and I would like some more intellectual honesty about that. Would you like to kill all your neighbors and also you're a poor person? Our products consider both these problems, and we fully support killing people you live near. Would you like to drive with reckless abandon for your own safety, get in a horrific car crash while naked, and live? Well, you're not gonna believe this. You can. Everyone knows you're a savage, barely sentient animal who's a slave to their own desires. Buy our meat, not a euphemism. Are you just a regular human? If yes, how can you compete with your cybernetically enhanced co-workers? You useless waste of space. And yes, this is Eric Bana from that Marvel film. The environment, it totally matters. Also, we have a giant space laser that we really want to use. And so far, protecting wildlife is the best excuse we have. Will we burn an entire forest down in the name of protection? Yes. Is that unfortunate? Yes. Are we just doing our jobs and therefore legally cannot be held responsible? Also yes. Would you like to legally kill your own neighbor? Of course you would. Here at Night City Police, that's our favorite thing. Also, we're better than you. Hashtag protect and serve. Some truly incredible works of art, 4 out of 5 doctors agree. So usually ads are made by marketers, but Cyberpunk's ads were made by artists. I think the world would be a better place if there was less stuff made by marketers, whose goal is usually money and impressions, and more stuff made by artists, whose goal is ideally expression and inspiration. By the way, if you like this kind of video format, slam subscribe to let me know, dude. I made one exactly like this for Destiny 2's Lightfall expansion, aka the worst story ever told, and that's right here. So go ahead, click or tap. I know you've got nothing else to do. You may as well go watch it. It's pretty good, IMO.